Under 2 hours, and this is half of our band. We just had a concert with just as many students with the white rotation. So this is a special concert because it's not a normal concert. We do a show and tell version of what we have learned so far in this year. A question that I always get as a band director is, how do you get them to do that? How do you get all of them to do it at the same time? So we're just going to show you how we started from August till now and what we have. So I'm going to give this over to Mr. Schneider and we'll get started.
All right, so yeah, the first 2 weeks of school, they came in and we split them off into different rooms and we tried them out on all the instruments to see which one was really best for them. And we tell them, it's like, we don't really care, but we do care what fits you the best. And that's why we encourage them to try everything. They did a great job with that. So then after Labor Day weekend, and most of you know, that's when their instruments came in. So that's always a fun day for us because it's kind of like Christmas and Labor Day thrown in with like maybe The Price is Right, because we have all the instruments up here and we're like, call a name out, come on down, get your instrument. It's a great time. They're coming, get their instrument, pick it up, and then they're ready to go home and do all kinds of stuff. And we had to teach them a lot of stuff of putting the instrument together and the care and maintenance and stuff like that. I cannot tell you how many times we said, no, your other left hand goes here. Many times, okay? You have to hold the stick this way, or whatever it might be, okay? Hold your mouth this way to play, that kind of thing. So with that, we started off with just the mouthpiece, and that was how our first sound started. And so we're going to go through kind of each instrument group and kind of show some of what they did just with their mouthpieces to go from there. So first we're going to start with the trumpet section. And then the same in the brass family, we have the trombones and euphoniums. Then in the woodwind family, we're going to start with the saxophones. It's kind of fun with just the mouthpiece and the neck. It's a really cool sound. Cool. Next is going to be the clarinet section. We'll apologize before this happens. This is what it's going to sound like. Clarinets. Last but not least, on the wind side of things, the flute section right down front. And of course, standing in the very back is our percussion section. They spent the first 2 weeks just figuring out how to put everything together, because that's a lot of stuff that they have to put together with the bell kits and the snare drums and practice pads. But they learned how to hold sticks. Why don't you just wave the sticks up at the end? So at least they got that part going. All right, cool. So after a while, we got that going in. So just doing the mouthpieces and those type of things, get the initial sound going, and the instrument just amplifies it from that point. So we're like, hey kids, put them together. Let's make our first note. And it sounded something like this. That's accurate. So after hearing that 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, your band director's invested in Tylenol and Excedrin quite a bit, I'm just saying. No, it was great, because after a while, then it didn't take too long before they actually started making characteristic sounds of a flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, trombone, euphonium. So then they eventually learned how to use the correct airspeed, the embouchure, which is how they hold their mouth right, make sure the fingers are holding the instrument right, and they actually got to play their first note. And you will notice up here, we actually have what they're reading. So this is like flute, clarinet, and saxophone lines. And so as we go through these ones in the book, this is what they're actually reading. So you can obviously watch your kid. If you're tired of looking at your kid, you can look up here. So this is number 1, called First Notes and Rests. Way better, right? And that really didn't take very long to do. I'm just joking moderately about the etc. and entitlement. Okay, so as we went on, we added a few more notes and made it a little more challenging. So the next song we're going to play for you has a couple different notes, and they're connected. So there's no rest in between anymore. So they have to move their fingers and their tongue at the same time without any breaks. So this one is number 9, Mix Them Up. So now that they start doing that, these are all whole notes that they were playing, and now they're starting to add quarter notes. So they're coming a little bit quicker, things like that, and there's actually now 5 notes in a row, thus the name for number 12, also known as Take 5. And that really was like within a few weeks period, they're getting to this point doing a good job with that. So, but again, none of those tunes that we've done so far, you're like, man, I can sing that all day long. I know that really well. Until you get to the 6th grade beginning band rite of passage. The first tune that everybody knows, Hot Cross Buns. That's one of the first tunes that everybody kind of knows in the book. So this is number 17, Hot Cross Buns. So again, at this point, they've learned 3 notes, whatever. Over the next month or so, they learned a few more notes as they went through things. And we started doing a warm-up page. And there's like 5 or 6 different things on this page. We're actually going to do the whole thing in its entirety. But it's different things as far as starting and stopping together, articulation, our sound quality, we call it tone. Are they sounding the same? And they're sounding, more and more like their characteristic instruments. And really trying to listen to each other and blend and all those things. So this is their warm-up, and to kind of make it fun, we actually have a background track that goes with it as well. So you're going to hear us recording with it, and they're playing along with that. Hope you enjoy their warm-ups. just like, so they're finding out they have muscles that they're using to play their instruments with, and they were really tired. But they did a great job. You guys sound really wonderful tonight, by the way. So now the next thing that we start learning, the next concept on top of notes that are different notes that they play with their fingerings, but different rhythms. So the next song we have is number 34, and it introduces 8th note. So I hope you enjoy a good little fiddle tune called Bile Them Cabbage Down. So again, our classes, we divide and conquer through the day. We have 2 hours of band, and then within those hours of band, we get to split up a little bit. So Mrs. Whitmar teaches all the woodwind classes, which are the flutes, cornets, saxophones. Mr. Waddell, which is back in the sound booth, teaches all the brass stuff, so trombone, trumpet, and euphonium. And Mr. Neely teaches percussion. And then I get to kind of go around and do little micro sectionals or sit in next to people and just help along the way in these little small groups. So maybe one day I'll take flutes out, the next day I might take trumpets out or trombones or something like that. And it's a real fun way to just kind of isolate per instrument family, that way within our big sections. So we're going to do a woodwind feature, and 6th graders, I'm going to ask you to do something for me real quick to make sure that they understand what's going on. I'm going to have you raise up your instrument when I call it out, okay? So flutes, go ahead and raise your instruments up so you can show that off a little bit. That's our flute section. Okay, cool. Our clarinets. There's always a lot of them. Cool, thank you. And saxophones, don't hurt yourselves. There we go, all right. They have their neck strap on, this is where they're gonna go, that would not be good. All right, so this is our woodwind family. They're gonna do a duet, so there's 2 independent parts of London Bridge. So trumpets, would you hold your instruments up, please? Trumpets, carefully hold your instruments up. There's quite a few back there. Great deal, thank you. Trombones. Quite a bit back there. Good. And our euphoniums. Cool. So they're also going to do a duet, independent parts, and it's just simply called the 3-4 duet. And I understand that being a percussionist myself, is the percussion section very far back. And they get to play a lot of different stuff. Some of them are playing snare drums, some of them will be playing xylophones or bells back over here. And of course, later on they'll be playing bass drums and tambourines and cymbals and all kinds of stuff they get to learn and have fun with. So this is our percussion section playing Minka Minka. All right. So I'm going to hand things over to Miss Whitmore for a few minutes before we play our last tune for you tonight.
All right, so one cool thing about getting to teach band is we get to see them from 6th grade all the way through 12th grade if they stay in. And there's a big jump from 6th grade here to intermediate to the junior high, especially when we're talking about scheduling. And so I want to teach you a little bit about the 7th grade schedule, and also so they can get the most out of their 7th grade experience. So if you see the screen, the green at the top is all of the required core classes that 7th grader takes. They have English, writing, science, math, social studies. If they are in gifted, that writing, the second one is where gifted fits in. It exchanges that out. And then they have some other required classes like Bulldog Block, which is an encore, like a social study, like, I don't know how to explain it, a study hall type class, but they still learn lessons in it. That Bulldog Block. And then they get a whole year-long choice elective. And then on the left-hand side of that yellow is a semester of PE, which can also be weights. So in 7th grade they choose weights or PE, and it takes a semester of class. Then they have PLTW, is a technology class. It's called Project Lead the Way. So that's a quarter class. And then they take a typing class, a keyboarding class for the other quarter. That all takes one class period. So half the year they're in weights or PE, then quarter of those two. So the band electives that they can choose from are band, which is 7th grade band. And in 6th grade we split a lot. They mostly, until the concert, we are in woodwind, brass, percussion. But in 7th grade we join forces a lot, and it's one class of 7th grade. And then they have the option to do a semester-long jazz band class. And our jazz band is something that has grown like so much since Mr. Neely has taken that over. He takes 7th graders for a semester. It's an 8th grade whole year class, but 7th graders can take it for a semester. So you might be thinking, how could they take band and jazz band? But they could take band as their elective and then take summer school PE. If they take summer school PE, it takes out the semester of PE class, and they can fit jazz band in there, or they can fit chorale. All of the troublemakers that we have in band made chorale, and they often have to pick in 7th grade between that. But Mr. Smith, the choir teacher, we're right next door to each other, and we've talked about that a lot. So they can go right into chorale for a semester and join them. They join second semester with that and take band. Or if they say, oh, I want to do art, or I want to do cooking, or I want to do fill in the blank, they can take summer school PE and band and that elective during the year. So that's how they fit it all in to their schedule. Some things that I wanted you to know is PE in the summertime is a month long, and they have either a morning session or an afternoon session. And it's way more casual than during the school year. A lot of students don't like dressing out with the dress code every single day for PE during the school year. There's no dress code in the summertime. Well, school appropriate, but there's no like color dress code, and it's way more chill. So a lot of people like to knock it out in the summer regardless. So it's really popular. Last year we had lots of kids who wanted to do it so they could take jazz band, and then they were turned away because they enrolled too late and it was full. So in April-ish, May, when Mr. Sawyer from the junior high sends out enrollment, if you're interested in that, I would do it that day that you get it, so that you make sure your student has a spot, because they will turn you away once those 2 slots are full. So that is that. I wrote myself notes so I didn't forget to tell you. Students have to take 7th grade band and take 8th grade band. So just like they've learned so much this year, we do that again next year's. And they don't get to come back in 8th grade if they enter through 7th grade. So I'm aware that 6th grade band is not the most fun in the whole entire world. We don't get to travel on very many trips. They learn so much really fast, and it just gets more fun as we go. So this group of students is major talented, no matter what they tell you at home or what you hear at home. So talk to them about it. Like, it's an investment that we've made to them. And if they don't choose to do it in 7th grade, they don't really get that opportunity in 8th grade. And all of their electives, they get more in 8th grade. So I know they really want to learn how to bake cookies, but they can also do that later. But they can't do band later. Um, if you're interested in summer school PE, please enroll like right when it comes out. He said he'll email you, they'll give it to the office, you'll know if you want to know. And then you must be in band to be in jazz band. So a student can't say, oh, I'm not going to do a full year-long band, I just want to do that jazz band. We don't, they go together, so you have to be in band to do jazz band. And athletics are not a problem. I hear that so many times. I'm going to do basketball in 7th grade, or I do this or that, and they're not a problem, we work together. As a matter of fact, we had a concert on the same day as a girls' basketball game, and we just said, hey, coach, how many people do we share? And he's like, hey, let's move the game. And so they moved the game so that we could not have to share people. That doesn't always work out, but we talk to each other and work it out. So it's not a problem if your student is sporty. We have every single sport represented in our band program, like every single one. When they do yearbook pictures, they take everybody. It's crazy. And then ask us if you have questions, because we will tell you. We know all about the schedule. If you're like, hey, is my kid actually okay at this instrument? We'll tell you honestly that too. Like, no, that's probably not their calling. Just kidding, I meant to that maybe. But yeah, I'm not kidding I'm not kidding at all when I say the talent on the stage is crazy. Like, they're crazy talented. So, ask us if you have enrollment questions. And our upcoming events, this is the rest of the year. We are going to PSU, this is new. We are going to go perform at the Bicknell. If you've ever seen the Bicknell, a really fancy center, we're going to go and we're going to perform for judges there during the school day. Then we're going to go eat on the dining hall like cool college kids. And if you want to come to that, you can. You'll just follow the bus. You'll go in. You'll watch us, but you can't eat with us. But you can watch us perform for that contest. Then we have a spring concert just like this concert here in the auditorium on May 14th in the evening. And then we have a school assembly May 20th. Those two concerts have the same music. So if you can't take off work to be here at 8:30, it's the same music as the concert that was just the last week. And a new thing that some of them know, but not all of them know yet, is that we're going to go bowling on May 21st during school. You have a bowling trip. We're going to go. There are just some requirements for the bowling trip, so I wanted to tell you so you knew. Number one, they have to attend all the concerts I just said. 2 are during the school day, so yeah, and then 1 in the evening. No band referrals, meaning none of the 4 band directors give you a referral, which referrals here are like big things, like really, really no things. So that should be easy. And then the third one is no more than 1 buddy room. And a buddy room is if you maybe aren't making good choices and we move you in the classroom and then you still aren't making good choices, then we move you to another room, the buddy room, like the flip-flop rooms. So if that happens to you 1 time, that's cool. We give you a second chance, but 2 times, then you don't get to go bowling. So if all of those 3 things are followed, then they get to go bowling on May 21st. And it's going to be fun. So I think that's all. And we're going to play our last song for you called Go Bando. No, it's not called Go Bando. It's called Codename Band. And when we're done, your student has 1 job, 1 really quick job. And then we're going to be good to go. So thank you for coming. We're going to play Codename Band.